Hey, I'm Keith.Collins, and I'm sitting here with Leigh Ann, and we were having a conversation about a really cool college tuition hack that I was really excited about, but come to find out, she actually has done it. So you had some kids that were going to college, or your daughter was going to college, Louisiana State?
Well, our son was going to college first.
Okay.
He was going to be going to Middle Tennessee State University out in Murfreesboro.
Okay.
And we didn't want him doing the commute back and forth and killing his car.
Sure.
So we decided to check into the idea of purchasing something over near the university.
Sure.
Found a property. So we ended up doing a cash out refinance on the equity in our home.
Okay.
And we used that to put down a fairly large down payment on that property. And it worked its way out in such a manner that when we brought in a roommate to pay the rent every month, that covered our mortgage and
the whole mortgage.
Whole mortgage and most of the HOA. So what little bit of money that we pay every month for that property for him to live in, we just consider it part of being a parent.
So you saved money.
Money from...
How long ago was this?
This was in 2020, actually.
Do you still have the house?
We still have the house.
And it's probably gone up in value a ton as well.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Right. So you did this to find an opportunity for your kid to have to not have to commute as much, have proper housing, but it was also an investment opportunity. Yeah. But then you did something else, right?
That was even better.
You took it even further. And this is where I think it's really cool. This isn't going to apply to everybody, and there's probably a couple of assumptions that people would have to make in this situation. But then your daughter got accepted to an out-of-state school that had a very high out-of-state tuition.
Correct.
And you figured out a way to mitigate that expense. And this is what I'm like, what?
Yeah, and you need to make sure you check with your college or university that your child's going to go to make sure that this is something that you can do.
Right.
But in our case, the university said if you become a state resident for 365 days and live there, don't take any college courses. So she, in essence, had to take a gap year.
Okay.
And she had to work full time. She had to file her taxes in that state. She had to have a car tag and a driver's license. Just all those things to become a resident of the state.
Right.
And she got accepted to the school, and she ended up saving $40,000 a year in college tuition. Because
now she qualified for in-state tuition versus out-of-state tuition.
Yeah.
And that was like, what, 150 some odd thousand our home?
Approximately.
So you basically saved the purchase price of the property in college tuition savings. So I think the moral here is just to think differently about college tuition, and what's really cool is real estate is the key to actually save the money.
Yeah.
Right?
And we're nothing special. We're just average, ordinary, middle-class Americans.
Right.
And but as realtors, we have knowledge and understanding because we work with lenders that teach us and help us understand as well. And so we were able to apply the things that we knew, and it worked out in spades for us.
So brilliant. When I think about house hacking or investing with our children, I think just kind of about my family situation here. We moved out from California to Tennessee for our girls. And I want to keep that family unit together. But I think about my girls who are 6 and 11, like in 15 years, what are the home prices going to be? In 20 years, how are they going to afford a property?
It's already hard for young adults to buy a home.
It's hard for a lot of people. And so there's a way maybe where parents who've been in real estate, accumulated some equity, have an opportunity, I think, to invest with their children as an investment property, but also like an investment for their kids. And we're, everybody's playing with the term house hacking.
Yeah. Don't you have a shared equity program, though, that idea that you have?
That's kind of what it is. So I think there's a shared equity agreement that can be created with your kids to help them buy property. You invest with them. And so it's, you've kind of done this a little bit, right, for with the college tuition stuff. But I think there's an opportunity right now where, if you've got some money in the market, you've got 401k, you've got equity in your property, you potentially enter a joint equity agreement with your children, you buy property. We were talking about this, but if you rent a home per door as opposed to the entire unit as one, you're typically going to get more rental income.
Generally,
So buy a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. Your child lives in one of the rooms. You rent out the other 3. It will most likely cash flow.
Right.
And now you've created an investment opportunity for your family and for your children.
And real estate always improves.
It does over time.
It goes over up and downs.
Yeah.
But over time, it generally always improves. So you really can't go wrong.
And it's able. I mean, there's so many opportunities with it. You can write it off. You've got tax benefits. It appreciates. You get to depreciate it. And if done right, this is what's really cool. If done right, 2 generations will never pay taxes on investment real estate.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting way to look at it.
Isn't it?
Yeah.